Hello, and welcome to the Town of Franklin's 2023 Open Space and Recreation Plan Update video. My name is Breeka Goodlander, and I'm the Conservation Agent and Natural Resource Protection Manager for the town. I will be guiding you through this video today to hopefully answer any questions you may have about what the Open Space and Recreation Plan is, why it is important, and how to get involved and provide feedback. I'm very excited to be here, so let's get started. An Open Space and Recreation Plan, otherwise known as an OSRP, is a tool through which a community plans for the future of its conservation and recreation resources. In other words, it is a plan for plans. The OSRP is an accumulation of public participation and stakeholder engagement to identify and prioritize the goals and objectives of the community as they relate to open space and recreation lands and facilities. Through OSRPs, identified goals and activities can be funded through various grant programs for up to 7 years. OSRPs are also a great way for the town to connect with residents about local conservation and recreation issues. Overview and benefits of the OSRP. OSRPs successfully provide a snapshot of community priorities from the aforementioned stakeholder feedback and public engagement. OSRPs also guide policy decisions for open space, climate resiliency, natural resources, and recreational issues, plus others. They help maintain public spaces and recreational facilities, protect open spaces, habitat, and biodiversity. They also develop and implement capital improvement programs and improve public access and awareness. And additionally, as mentioned, they are a great source of funding. OSRPs have 11 requirements of the plan. First section is the plan summary, which is the overall aspirations of the community. The second section is an introduction, which includes a statement of purpose, planning process, and public participation. The third section is a community setting, which describes the regional context, history of the community, population characteristics, and growth and development patterns. Section 4 includes an environmental inventory and analysis, which includes descriptions of the geology, soils, and topography of Franklin, the landscape character, water resources, vegetation, fisheries and wildlife, scenic resources and unique environments, and environmental challenges. Section 5 includes an inventory of lands of conservation and recreation interest, including the description of ownership, use, condition, and potential of those identified parcels. Section 6 outlines the community vision and includes a description of how the community vision was obtained, that is, through the stakeholder engagement, which I will describe later in this video. Section 7 includes an analysis of needs, that is, a summary of resource protection needs, a summary of community needs, management needs, and potential change of use. Section 8 includes goals and objectives, that is, a comprehensive set of the goals and objectives identified throughout the OSRP and stakeholder engagement process. Section 9 includes an action plan, that is a year-by-year timetable for specific actions the community has identified as priority to accomplish. Section 10 includes public comments, that is all public comments submitted during the entire OSRP process, and Section 11 is a reference list, so all reference documents used throughout the plan. Open space can be broken up into two distinct types of lands, private and public. Private lands are those private recreational areas, lands under special taxation programs such as Chapter 61, and other non-protected private parcels. Public lands are town-owned conservation and recreation lands and resources, such as the Delcart Conservation Area, nonprofit lands such as Metacomet, and federal and state-owned lands such as the State Forest. What is recreation? I think we all know what recreation is, but recreation are those indoor and outdoor facilities, parks, playgrounds, multi-use fields, courts, such as King Street Memorial Park. This is by no means a comprehensive list of the summary of the 2016 OSRP survey, but I thought it would be nice to show what residents in 2016 prioritized for the town as it relates to open space and recreation. So approximately 88% of households reported they were supportive of town appropriations for acquisition of open space. Additionally, approximately 85% of households reported they were supportive of town appropriations for additional rec facilities. Households were equally in agreement that the town should prioritize improving existing recreational facilities, acquiring and or building additional recreational facilities, and acquiring conservation lands for passive recreation. Walking was the most reported recreational activity amongst all age groups. 639 households reported walking as their top priority. Or top recreational activity, Bike trails were identified and ranked as the most needed recreational facility needed among residents. Approximately 60% of residents reported that they would sell land to the town at a fair market price to preserve open space. And water resources and wildlife habitat ranked highest in importance for preservation amongst all residents. So, accomplishments since the 2016 OSRP. As I mentioned, the OSRP is a plan for plans, so it is a checklist for the town for the next 7 years to work by and guide by to accomplish the goals identified as most important amongst the Franklin residents. So since 2016, the town acquired the Riverbend open space area, improved the surface of the SNET system, installed signage at every field and open space area, completed parking analyses at open space areas, installed recycling receptacles at all recreation areas, constructed a shared use path to a portion of Grove Street, and installed sharrows to some side streets, that is bike lanes. The town also increased the open space fund, secured capital funding, sidewalks were added to portions of Chestnut Street and Pleasant Street, Beaver Street, and Lincoln Street. Additionally, the town transferred town-owned tax titles and unresolved parcels to the Conservation Commission for designation as conservation lands and permanent protection. The town also evaluated local fee and tax structures to create a permanent revenue stream, acquired land adjacent to existing, that is in 2016, recreation areas that were suitable for future conservation land or additional rec areas, and conducted community outreach for the CPA and had the CPA on ballot. In order to develop a plan that represents the opinions, desires, and needs of the community, there will be multiple ways the town will be receiving feedback from residents and organizations. The Franklin Conservation Commission will hold bi-monthly OSRP update meetings and 3 public hearings in February, April, and June of 2023 to meet and discuss the needs and concerns of the community. A survey will also be distributed in order to understand the needs and concerns of the residents of Franklin. This survey can be found via QR code, via contacting the Conservation Department, or by visiting, for example, the library, town hall, and other respective municipal buildings. The survey will be distributed before the first public hearing in February 2023 and will run for approximately 2 months. The survey results will be presented at the second public hearing in April. Once the 2023 OSRP draft is developed, a month-long comment period will occur, which will include the public hearing in June to gather input regarding the draft plan. At any time during the plan update process, residents are encouraged to provide comments or suggestions in any method shown on the following slide. So, how to get involved. I realize this looks like a very wordy slide, so if you please bear with me, on the next slide there will be QR codes which will show you and direct you to all of these links shown here. So the first way to get involved is to visit the Open Space and Recreation Plan webpage. That webpage lives on the Franklin Conservation page, which can be found at franklinma.gov/conservation. If you do go to the Town of Franklin homepage, at the top you will see drop-down menus for boards and departments. If you select conservation, you will be directed to the conservation webpage. You can also sign up for conservation news alerts throughout the entire OSRP process. I will be drafting news and announcements and pushing them out on the conservation webpage. So to subscribe for conservation news alerts, you can visit franklinma.gov/subscribe and select conservation. You can also go to the franklinma.gov homepage, scroll to the bottom, and click email notifications, and you will be directed to the same page. On our conservation webpage, we also have our conservation calendar, so that will include all events for open space, and you can see when we will be hosting office hours or public meetings. Additionally, you can provide input by Google Form, email, or survey. That Google Form is linked on the Open Space and Recreation Plan webpage. I've also included the direct link and QR code into this video. My email is as listed, bgoodlander@franklinma.gov. Again, that survey will be put out on all digital platforms on February 2023 to April 2023. You can also contact me if you do require hard copies or any language translations of that survey. Again, I do encourage all residents to attend the public hearings in February, April, and June. At the public hearings, you'll be able to provide a paper comment via comment slip, a digital comment by using that Google form, or you can provide a public, well, they're all public comments, but a public comment up on the microphone. Additionally, if your group or organization would like to schedule a presentation for Open Space and Rec Plan, you can contact me for more information. As promised, here are all the QR codes for the Google form, how to subscribe to conservation notifications, my contact webpage, the conservation calendar, the OSRP webpage, and then all of my contact information. So I'm very excited to work with you through the Open Space and Rec Plan process. Please feel free to reach out. Please feel free to get involved, schedule a presentation, ask me any questions, and do be on the lookout for that survey. Thanks for listening.